Okay, I think we've got that. Get it happening here. Yes, there we are. There. The running comment thread.
All right.
Okay, we've got 11 people here.
So,
Greetings.
Happy Boxing Day.
Yes, season's greetings. Specifically, you look like you're being pushed off the edge of the screen. Let's fix this a little bit. There, I think that's better. All right, Tony Krindler was watching with us. It just said, hi, Tony. Greta is watching with us.
Greta.
Hi, Greta. Season's greetings to everybody.
And Happy Boxing Day.
And Happy Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying the holiday season or looking forward to it being over soon, one way or the other. We won't tell you which way we feel. We're going to be jamming tonight in the key of G. We hope you'll play along. No special tunings, no special capo positions, no capo use at all.
Only one special chord at the very end.
Yeah, one special chord. That's right, just
Yeah.
at the very end. How
At the
about
very
that?
end,
Otherwise, usual chords and hopefully friendly material for everybody. I've got the fiddle in standard tuning, G, D, A, E. Again, no special qualities over there, just the usual tuning and the usual shapes.
For me.
1, 4, 5. Yep, and that's that.
Right.
We hope you're playing along too. This is much more fun to envision a jam session happening around the country or around the world than it is to imagine a super casual performance before audience members. This is not meant to be a performance, it's meant to be a jam.
So we're going to start off with a chestnut, right?
That's right.
But it's one that, even though it's considered a chestnut, it was never one that either one of us played very much when we were learning, and so we are a little mystified as to why it's a chestnut.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's a great tune, but it's tricky to play.
It's hard.
It is. And it makes us wonder every time we come upon one of these tricky to play but commonly played tunes, how do they become so common?
Because they're hard,
right?
You know, it's like a St. Andrew.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Or a red-haired boy.
That's a good example. They're not easy tunes.
Not easy tunes.
Anyway, this is Leather Britches, maybe among the few really commonly played G tunes we could come up with. And we've heard it done so many different ways, so we just settled on a way.
And do you know what the title means?
I used to, but I think I need help.
It means strings of green beans that are tied together, left to dry.
Nice.
And they're called leather britches.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you grow up on a farm and grow a lot of things, right?
My grandma was from Mississippi. She didn't do that.
She didn't grow green beans and make leather britches out of them?
No.
Okay.
I think it's more of an Appalachian thing.
Okay, good to know. Oh, and by the way, as you're hearing Beth talking and kind of rumbling, you might guess correctly that she is dealing with a cold or getting over one, as the case may be.
Day
right?
9.
Yes.
So,
Better every day, though.
better every day, yeah.
Yep, it just might not sound that way. So we're going to play a 3-part form, starting with the usual A part. Something like that. It will repeat. Then we'll go to a shorter B part. That's it for the B part. You can think of that as one thing or 2 short things with the repeat sign in the middle, whatever. There won't be any more B part than that. And then a C part, which is sort of a variation on the A, but in the upper register. And that will repeat again. And then we go back to the B part. A, B, C, B, kind of alternating form, which is unusual. So B part, that theme, you remember that. And then after that pass through B, we go back to the top. the A part. And if you get lost, don't worry, because we can't hear you play along, and neither can anybody else. It'll all be fine.
And if I get lost, we won't see them look confused.
Yeah, that's right. Sure won't. Okay. Leather Britches. Hope you enjoy playing along, please. Britches. Let us know if that was an early tune for y'all who have been playing for, well, whatever length of time, but longer lengths especially.
I saw your eyebrow go up, so I didn't do it right a couple of times around.
You did fine.
And you watch him, and his eyebrow will go up when I hit a wrong chord.
Aw. Well.
So even when you practice, it's
None
still...
of them are wrong. They're all plausible.
They came in the different order.
Right.
There you go.
Yes.
Definitely. So we got watching.
Peter Bell is tuning in with his tubaphone in hand. That's exciting. If we can pat ourselves on the backs a little bit, we help Peter Bell shop for and choose that banjo. And it's such a good banjo. I wish we could hear it in person sometime soon, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Terry Burdick is watching many times,
Oh,
as
gosh.
usual.
So it's Terry this time again and not Rita.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's okay. All
Well,
right.
we appreciate you watching as much as you do.
Yep. Ellen from Long Island. Hi,
Hey,
Ellen.
Ellen.
Hope you got your banjo playing along.
Hope we see you in 2026.
That's right. Let's play another tune. This is a real favorite one of mine. I think of it as a prototypical Kentucky G tune. And I know that sounds like a pretty narrow category, but I don't think it is. There are a lot of nice tunes from Kentucky in the key of G. This is No Corn on Tygart from J.W. Day, not to be confused with the totally unrelated No Corn on Tygart from Ed Haley that I think we might have played in this online jam series at one point. Yeah, a standard tuning on a fiddle. Completely different tune, beautiful tune, just love this one, and it goes right where you expect in a way. corn on Tygart. I just love that. I think it's so satisfying to play. And there's so much you can do with that kind of tune.
Yeah, I saw several names go across the screen. Favorite Aunt Marion.
Oh, is she out there?
Favorite Aunt Marion.
My favorite Aunt Marion.
Brendan. Hey, Brendan.
Great.
Marilyn.
Yes.
And who else did I see? I forgot.
Let's see. Terry Burdick is watching. Steve Allerton, hello.
Yeah.
Rose in Charlotte.
Yeah,
She
man.
says, especially Beth, keep feeling better. That's nice. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you as a former respiratory therapist. I know you understand.
Yeah, there you go. All right. No other noteworthy remarks so far, but
it's great to see you all, and thank you for joining us.
we might have gotten this comment thread behaving.
You reckon?
It's staying mostly visible.
Oh
I
my
have to
gosh.
tap it. Oh, Brendan says two interesting things. He said, no corn on Tygart makes him miss Rusty Nighthammer. That's right. Wasn't that on the Cliffhangers album? I have always felt like Mark Simos's fiddling inspired me to work that tune out. And where else might he have recorded it than on the Cliffhangers with you and with Rusty? Tell me if I'm wrong about that, Brendan, please. And Brendan says he's always found Leather Britches a hard tune to play
Thank
well
you, Brendan.
on the banjo. And Brendan can play any
Anything.
tune. He plays the notiest stuff. And if he has a hard time with that on the banjo, it's a hard tune.
It's a hard
I wonder
tune.
why it became common. It's a great tune, though, and I'm excited that we've kind of gotten it going because of including it on this set.
I hope we do.
Let's keep working it. Yeah. All right, it's time to play a different version of a tune that we have included in this series before, in the key of G, no less, The Girl I Left Behind. I think that was one of our earliest online jam tunes, maybe,
Yeah, I
because
think
it
so.
seems like everybody knows it, but nobody plays it anymore.
Talk about the great record.
Which great record?
That great record.
Is that on a great record?
I thought it was. It's not on. It's not on Ways of the World. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, no, it's not. I wish it
I
were.
wish it were.
We are going to play, and you gave it away a little bit, but that's fine, the Rayna Gellert version of Girl I Left Behind, which is so cool, and it has a lot of the usual melody, not all of it. The A-part theme starts kind of differently from the usual, but then it becomes more like the usual. B-part theme is very recognizable as the usual, but the coolest thing about it is the chording. And we've heard it chorded a lot of different ways, and I've heard Rayna play it solo more often than I've heard her play it accompanied. So who really knows what's better or worse, but we've worked out chords that we like with a whole lot of E minor.
And this one starts in E minor.
It does start in E minor, yes. And other than that, it's just the usual 1, 4, 5 for the key that we're playing in. settled right in after
eventually.
that.
I noticed that we have at least one of our British friends watching, Steve.
Yes, Steve. Hi,
Hi,
Steve
Steve.
Blake from London. So glad that you're tuning in. Sorry to keep you up a little bit late, and thanks for the kind words. Steve was appreciating how when I was lowering the B part from its usual octave and I ran out of notes to play the original melody, I just kind of made adjustments to get it to fit down there and still hopefully sound like itself. I'm a big fan of moving tunes or tune parts from one octave to another as a variation, even when they don't quite fit. If a couple notes might fall off the bottom end of the instrument, is that reason enough to not try lowering the part? I think not. And those kinds of variations for me are a lot easier than the ones like in the original octaves that change the original melody or rhythm in a big way. So fiddlers, especially if you're not doing much raising or lowering of your parts, especially in the cross tunings, but even in standard tuning, you may want to consider doing more of that. Thanks, Steve, for noticing that. I appreciate it.
Hi to Judy Moldauer.
Oh, is Judy out there?
She was.
Okay. Mikkel in Minnesota is
Mikkel.
there. Yay. Okay. Terry Burdick is watching a whole lot. Oh, Kristen from Kansas.
Hey,
Hi,
Kristen. I'm glad
So
you got to
have
tune
you
in.
with
We
us.
saw your note.
Rob Daves from Minnesota. Rob and Louise. Say hello.
Our buddies.
Hi. Okay.
So Adam and I like to do a lot of road tripping kind of things, and not always with instruments, which people think is strange sometimes. But and we found out about this road trip through, I think, AAA magazine or something a few years ago, and we decided it sounded so romantic and so interesting to go on, and it was the Great River Road Tour, which was started. What was the tippy top?
We went as far up as northern Iowa.
Yeah, we started in Dubuque, which was interesting because it was, tune name.
Yes.
And then we went to St. Louis,
Yes.
coming all the way down the Mississippi. And when we started in Dubuque, it was like in the 20s
It was pretty cold.
or something like that.
This was in October, I think.
No, it was?
Yeah, it was in the fall.
Well, anyway,
Not this
but it was
October.
cold when we started, and when we got to St. Louis, it was like 75. But the interesting thing about it is that we crossed the actual place that this tune is written about. And when we did, we couldn't see it because it was snowing.
That's right.
So we missed the whole
We
thing
missed the whole view
Whole
at this
view.
special point.
at this special point.
That
So-
was in Illinois. We
Yeah.
kept crisscrossing the river on the way south, and that point in Illinois where we should have had this amazing view
of the
Mississippi, but it was fogged over and snowed
snowing.
out, was the Mississippi
Palisades,
Palisades,
yes.
so called. And we just love the tune by the same name that Chirps Smith composed some time ago.
And so we're going to do it, and hopefully you can learn from us. But if you want to learn from the author himself, he has a magnificent teaching video of Mississippi Palisades on YouTube. So
check it out.
check that out.
All right. Oh, and the rest of that Great River road trip was not nearly as romantic as
not
it
at all.
should have been. I mean, the Mississippi is magnificent. I grew up along the Mississippi, and I like it a lot. But there was a lot of heavy industry, at least in that section of the river.
Oil tankers and
Yeah, stuff like that.
tank farms.
Railroad
Yeah.
situations.
Very little romance, but oh well.
That's okay. We love the towns, though.
Yeah.
Some fabulous architecture along
Yeah.
that route, for what that's worth.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Mississippi Palisades by Chirps Smith.
love that tune.
That is a really pretty tune, and that's one of the somewhat rare modern old-time compositions that I think really sounds traditional. It could be mistaken for a very, very old tune, and to me that's the mark of a successful tune composition in this genre. So good. And remember, all of these old tunes were new at one time. Okay. Nate Leith is out there. Hi, Nate. Hope you're playing along. Wish you were right here with your fiddle. I'd just put mine away and sit back and take notes.
Indeed.
All right, let's see. David Vincent joining from southern Minnesota along the Mississippi River. How about that? Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to play an unusual version of a tune with a common title. We're going to play a Cluck Old Hen, usually thought of as an A tune, right? This is really a G tune. This is a version that, as I understand it, Paul Brown really brought into circulation. I think he collected it from the old musician, but if I've got that wrong, somebody let me know. It comes originally from a fiddler named Ed Weaver from the Stuart's Draft, Virginia area, kind of the bottom of the Shenandoah Valley, farther north than a lot of us realize old-time fiddle music went in the state of Virginia way back. And you can sort of tell that it's a Cluck Old Hen. Sort of. And I've heard Paul Brown, and I've heard more recently Alice Gerard sing the usual lyrics to Cluck Old Hen along with this tune. So it does kind of fit, but it's a very different experience. So if you're counting on any muscle memory or ear memory to guide you through it and you don't already know this version, just throw all of that out the window and start anew. But it's a beautiful tune and we really like to play it. We want to guide you through a little bit of it. I think of the A part as being half length, played 3 times, the third time having a little variation. And then it does that identically again. And then the third time is the same idea, but more spacious. And then it's time for the B part, so kind of a lopsided A structure. The B, I believe Paul only plays once, and it's so interesting and also so tricky, we've decided to repeat it. It sounds like this. And we'll repeat from there. So more B part than A part for sure. And the chords are the usual suspects, 1, 4, and 5, G, C, and D, but the timing of them is really peculiar. And as we were warming up a little bit, I was trying to figure out, well, is there a blanket statement that can be made about the chords? And it feels to me like the changes happen a little later than we might expect. Right. They're always just a little bit later. Or are they a little earlier?
I don't know. I just... It's one of those tunes you really have to have it singing in your head.
Yeah.
But I am trying to not play it as stylized as I would if it was just us playing.
Yeah, dress it down.
Dress it down a little bit.
But thanks to Paul Brown for getting this tune out there. It's just so cool, and I love to hear him play it too.
strange too.
Strange, but fun.
Yep.
That high part always reminds me of what I see chickens doing when they're running around in the yard, just running and pecking and running and pecking. Doesn't it sound like that sort of movement?
Yeah, since I grew up with that happening, but you didn't. How do you have that analogy?
Well, maybe that shows how little I know about how chickens actually behave. If
That's
that
funny.
reminds me of what I've seen them do.
That's funny. That's funny. Couple more folks I saw on there, Paul DeBlois
Aw, hi Paul.
and Margaret Wright,
Uh-huh.
who we'll be seeing in March.
Hi Margaret.
Yeah.
Glad you're here. All right. Time for a favorite tune of mine from a little bit west of here, couple hours. Anybody fans of Emmett Lundy's fine fiddling out there the way that I am?
Didn't you get a gift from a friend of a bunch of Emmett Lundy? Was that Emmett Lundy or Luther Davis?
Oh, that was Luther Davis.
never
But same
mind.
area and kind
area.
of same genre of fiddler, too.
Right.
We're going to play Emmett Lundy's Waves on the Ocean. And I had heard this tune before, but couldn't quite decipher it until, this has been a number of years back, our good friend Jim Collier kind of turned us on to some of the detail in the tune. He likes to play it on fiddle, as it turns out. So we'll send Waves on the Ocean out to Jim and wish he was here with fiddle or mandolin or banjo or whatever he wanted to bring to the session. Now, he started, and Emmett Lundy started on a certain part, and we could think of that as the A part if we wanted to. I cannot get into the tune starting on that part. I have to start on the other part. That's going to be the sound of what I'll use as the A part. And I feel a little bit vindicated in my decision to organize the parts this way in listening back to the Emmett Lundy recording on Slippery Hill, which started and ended on the same part. So which one was A, which one was B, we may never really know. But if these parts sound out of order to what you're used to, just wait. The other one will come around shortly.
Isn't that the case with all of them?
It is.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
yes, maybe that higher part was not a good example of one to try lowering to the bottom of the instrument and hoping that the notes that aren't available down there would just work themselves out. Oh, well. All right. Maxine is there too, playing the tack head banjo in a low tuning. That's a fun thing to do. I wonder if Maxine and Brendan are playing in the same room as each other or in different rooms from each other. All right. Allie Steele from Santa Cruz is out there. Hi.
Just met her this fall.
Yes, so much fun at the Charlottesville area music camp. Truly. All right, ooh, this is a fun one.
This is the one that has a quick thing.
Quick G and then longer E minor. That's right, at least the way we like to chord it. This is Stumptailed Dolly, or some people just call it plain old Dolly. But I like that Stumptailed idea. Don't we think that it's a cat with just a little tiny tail?
Well, for some reason I thought it was a horse.
Oh, I guess it could be that
I
too.
don't know why I thought that, but I did.
Could a horse have a stump tail?
Well, like Belgians have very short tails,
Do
but
they?
naturally, yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you think this tune is about a cat
Or a dog, or a horse,
or something else
It
altogether?
could be,
Let us
it
know.
could be a dog that had a dock tail.
Yeah, that's true. Could be a dog as well.
Yeah.
Could be a dog as well.
Definitely not about Dolly Parton.
Right. Nor is it about a baby doll, I don't think.
I don't think so.
I used to, a million years ago when I was first getting into old-time music, hear that title and think it's talking about baby dolls. That's kind of creepy, right? Stumptail baby doll? But no, I don't think that is correct.
I bet if anybody knows, it'll be Brenda.
Yeah, that's right. Brendan, if you know what this title refers to, let us know in the comments. So it's going to have a really quick one chord followed by a longer E minor chord at the top of the A part, which is a little bit unusual, and no 4 chord at all. 1, 5, and minor only, right? so much fun to play.
Did Brendan know what it meant?
Let's find out. Brendan says he and Maxie are in the same room. Okay. He says, somebody just told us the other day what Stumptailed Dolly refers to, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was. Steve Blake says he always imagined it was a sheep because of Dolly the clone sheep.
Well, that's
a really interesting idea.
That makes a lot of sense.
But then Steve goes on to say his friend Jerry said it was John Salyer's dog. Stumptailed Dolly. The mystery endures.
Right.
All right. Steve Allerton says that it's a breed of sheepdog.
Well,
That's interesting. Okay.
that covers all bases. Sheep, dog.
That's right. Well,
yeah,
we have more options to work with than we did before. That's fun. Oh boy, another favorite. This list has a bunch of tunes I really like on it.
We hope you guys like it.
Yeah, if we're picking duds, apologies. We like them though. This is going to be Sally Will You Marry Me from Melvin Wine. And it just sits on the G for longer than you think.
And it does, is this one?
This is the one that has a lot of 4 chords
Yeah.
in it. Like, if you think a change is coming, it's almost certainly going to be a 4 chord. You put in a 5 as like a turnaround in the B part,
Yeah.
but only very, very briefly.
Very,
Everything else
very brief,
meaningful is
everything's 1
4.
and 4.
I've heard other people chord this in different ways, but we like this way, and it's a little simpler, I think.
You know what? We need to make that.
Oh, right, so disclaimer. These chords are not the chords. They are an
Our
approach to the chords.
So the ones we like.
Yeah, we're
So-
not saying this is the only way that they can be played.
And other people may have a different preference.
Yes, but we have worked them out, and we like them this way.
Right.
Right? Sally, will you marry me? say, old-time fiddlers just want to put in a plug for the music of the late, great Melvin Wine, the source of that tune. If you're interested in the notion of pattern-oriented bowing, recurring bow motifs that go in a lot of places across old-time music, and you've kind of been through the usual suspects from the Round Peak area and the Galax area, many of whom bowed with these kinds of recurring themes, check out Melvin. Kind of unusually for his fiddle culture up in West Virginia, he played with what I perceive as a whole lot of patterns rather than super tune-specific, stroke-by-stroke choreographed bowing. And if you want to take your learning forward, that could be a good person to study. And there are a number of nice YouTube videos that show his bowing up close, as well as a lot of good audio recordings as well.
Yes, Hunter, it was Sally, Will You Marry Me?
Oh, Hunter is out there.
Yeah.
Hi, Hunter.
I was lucky. I was so very lucky to get to actually meet Melvin. I went to his house. I think Brendan Maxine probably did too.
Mm-hmm.
He was just a lovely person.
Yep.
Kind, super. I was very impressed.
I met him briefly.
Not just as a musician, but
human being.
Human being. Yeah.
I met him briefly at the Bluff Country Gathering.
Did you really?
Yes, in Minnesota before I moved down here. Jerry Milnes brought him up, and I'm very grateful to Bob and Gail for organizing an event like that in a part of the world far from here that still gives participants the opportunity to meet the old musicians. I think that's very special. Guns and Roses in the morning, Brendan says. Huh? Clearly, we'll need to scroll back through there at greater length later, see what all we missed. Okay, it's time for Bitter Creek. Bitter Creek is a tune that we got turned on to via a great recording by Jeff Seitz from St. Louis. He put out this beautiful album quite some time ago. I wish I could remember the name of the album, but it has an old picture of the Gateway Arch, as I recall, on the cover. And just string band style version of the tune, but really nice fiddling, crisp fiddling. I could hear all the detail I needed to, and we worked it out from there. Then come to find out, it's actually in pretty wide circulation across the old-time music community and in the Texas-style fiddle community as well. Lots of good versions from that tradition. So what we're now playing is sort of a composite of a lot of things we've heard and liked. It has 4 parts. I've heard people repeat some and not repeat others, I think per an early recording of the tune. That seems complicated, especially since it's already a long-form tune. We are going to repeat every last one of the parts.
And there's one E minor.
Yes, the way that we like to chord the C part, and I'm pretty sure I remember this from the Jeff Seitz recording, is different from all the other parts. It'll be 1 to minor to 4 to 5, kind of cycling through the chords that way. The other parts are all chorded the same way. Yeah, they're that classic progression. 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, straight on, please, to 5. Finally resolving to 1. Try to not do that choppy 1, 5, 1 back and forth thing at the end of the parts. That's harder, and it doesn't sound as smooth and nice. So A part, B part, and C part will all have that progression, right? I think. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yep, if we're wrong, just follow Beth's left hand. She'll lead you correct. Bitter Creek. I think that's the sweetest tune. Just love it.
Jackie Kempton.
Activity over here. Jackie Kempton is here.
Yeah.
Hi, Jackie. I don't see you, but I'll take Beth's
She was
word for
there.
it. Oh, good.
She was there. Lynn Guerin.
Lynn Guerin is there. Hi, Lynn. Sumo from the UK.
We got lots of UK folks tonight.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
What's Hunter say?
Hunter experienced a tempo change. Sorry if our feed is not perfectly smooth for everyone. Occasionally we've heard complaints about that. Hilarious. Or maybe we're that unsteady.
Could well be cold medicine, you know.
Yes, we'll find out. If you're late in experiencing our online jam series, or even if you just need a reminder, because this is kind of a new thing, Facebook is going to stop hosting the archive of this jam after 30 days. So sometime between now and then, we are going to save it and wave a lot of magic wands at the video and make ourselves look younger and healthier and play more in time and get rid of all the bad notes, that sort of thing. No, we're actually not. We're just going to save the video and get it ready for uploading to my YouTube channel, where there is a playlist containing all of our previous Facebook online old-time jam videos. Mm-hmm. And if you're having problems with a bumpy feed, sometimes that may be on our end. I think more often it just happens somewhere in transmission. So the archived version will hopefully play beautifully smoothly for everyone, and it'll give you the access that you've always been craving to the pause button, the rewind button to check a phrase and see if you got the notes right, and this is the best part, the fast forward button.
Which means you don't have to listen to the idle chit chat at all. You can go right to the tune you want.
That's right, and there's a clickable tune list for every jam. If you open up the description on YouTube, you'll see the tunes and you'll see their start times, and if you click, it'll take you right to that point. Give us a couple weeks, well, give us as many as 30 days when this hosting will discontinue, and we'll get it up.
You uploaded the last one?
Yeah, the last jam is on my channel. The jam from October or early November, maybe.
November,
yeah, that's there.
And I maintain a spreadsheet of the tunes listed by key and then title.
Yeah, if you want the whole list,
if you want the whole list for the whole 4+ years we've been doing it, just drop me a line or drop Adam a line on Facebook or through his website, and I'll be happy to send you a copy.
Yes.
I will update it once the new one goes up. This one goes up.
Absolutely. Regina is watching in Massachusetts, and she said that a tempo change was experienced on her end too. So maybe we had a bump here, or maybe we're just speeding up or slowing down. Whatever.
I am on massive cold medicine, so it could be my fault.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's live music. I used to have a joke about live music. If it's not slick enough for you, how does the joke go?
I can't remember.
If it gets too slick for you, let us know, and we'll do something to fix the problem. That's how the joke
That's right. That's right.
Okay, we have just a couple tunes left for everybody. As usual, we're going to finish with a waltz, but two non-waltzes between now and then. The next tune we're going to do is that Henry King's Reel, which sure seems to us to have been like the tune of music festival season for a couple summers.
Yeah, at least.
Maybe even longer than that. This is from the Stuart brothers of North Carolina. And if you know Fair Morning Hornpipe or Morpeth Rant over in the key of D, you can take a lot of those tunes, A-part content, move it over one string so that it plays in G, and you'll be pretty close to the A part of this tune. B part is a little bit different, but nothing folks can't handle. We figured since it has gotten so popular, we really ought to learn it and include it.
And we did it.
So here it is. Just took us a little while to get to it.
sure see why it's so popular.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It's very catchy.
That tune.
Very
Makes
catchy.
you want to go back over and start it all over again.
And that one has a very traditional feel, too, I think. That could be an old number. All right. Ah, Rick Friend is there. Hi, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Wish you were there.
Yeah.
Right there with us, and an instrument of your choice. Okay.
I don't know if Rick Friend knows this, but one of my most fondest, treasured clifftop memories was seeing the Mando Mafia win Neotrad, playing Wooden Chips.
That was pretty special.
Rick Friend on the fiddle, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it was one of the finest performances I remember seeing at Clifftop. It was fantastic.
I think it's hard to not associate Clifftop and the Mando Mafia over so many years. What a great band.
Indeed.
All right, we are going to play a tune that might not be what you expect when you hear the title. Speaking of, thinking of the Stuart brothers, we're going to play Johnny Court the Widow. And I feel like the version that's in the widest circulation is one that the Stuart brothers maybe recorded. I don't know, maybe they did it on YouTube a lot, whatever, but I've heard it traced to the Stuart brothers a whole bunch. And it's a modal tune whose melody is not unlike what we're getting ready to play. It's more like the chording is what's wild, and the fiddle tuning is different as well. And then there's an old recording from Kentucky, Roy Bennett, I think, playing pretty close to our melody, but in F, and really in F position on the fiddle, not tuned down to the key of F. And I barely have an F note on my fiddle. It just didn't come with one. So we're not going to be playing this tune in F now or anytime in the future as far as I'm concerned. But we were turned on to this version in the key of G at Clifftop in 2010. I remember it vividly. Yes, in conjunction with Claudio Buchwald's famous risotto party, which doesn't happen anymore, unfortunately. Maybe it will again one day.
Didn't it have to get Rafe Stefanini's blessing before it was served?
The risotto did, and I think Rafe did tend to give that blessing. But either before or after the risotto, whatever, we were jamming with Claudio himself on the fiddle. I was playing the banjo, and he played this tune, and it was just the best tune I had heard for a long time, and it was Johnny Court the Widow, as far as I know. But here's the thing. In 2010, I don't know about many of y'all, but I didn't have a smartphone. And I think that was when we were still carrying those Zoom recorders around, and we hadn't brought one because it was the risotto party with incidental jamming rather than a jam being the focus. And so I didn't manage to record Claudio playing this tune. I may have gotten some of the tune wrong in my memory, although I really tried to work it out on the fiddle soon thereafter while it was still kind of fresh. We may not have gotten the chords the way that he had in mind. There wasn't another guitarist. You were just figuring it out as you went. And as I hear all of these other versions out there, I start to wonder, did I dream that jam happened? Did I dream that Claudio played this tune?
We didn't dream the risotto because I can still taste it.
I know, I can taste it too.
Yeah.
Well, here's what has made me think we didn't dream it up. Claudio's from Bloomington, Indiana, which has long had a really active old-time music scene with a lot of great players and a lot of great tune versions that came from that community. Over the past couple of years, we have been enjoying listening to a Pandora channel called Metamora Radio. You discovered that channel. And Metamora was a fabulous...
Metamora.
Right, Metamora is a town in southern Indiana too. But the Metamora band was a fabulous band that Pete Sutherland, I think, played fiddle in, and Malcolm Dalglish was in on... What did he play? Dulcimer?
Hammer Dulcimer. Gray Larson.
Gray Larson on guitar?
Yeah, I forget.
Maybe. Don't quote us. But it was sort of a fusion band, trad fusion in my view. They played a lot of old-time tunes. They played New England tunes, but they kind of did their own thing with all of it. And one track that comes up on that Metamora Pandora station when Metamora themselves are featured is Johnny Court the Widow. Not unlike this version. That band was from Bloomington, Indiana. Claudio Buchwald is from Bloomington, Indiana.
There you go.
We think we learned this tune this way in this key from Claudio. Coincidence? I hope not. Anyway, this is how we play.
Here we are.
Johnny Court the Widow. And this is why you're going to love having that fast forward button when this goes up on my YouTube channel.
Cut the idle chit-chat.
Yes. Usual chord progression for the A part, nothing special there. That classic back and forth thing with a lot of 4-chord. And then the B part starts on the 5. And it hangs out there more than you would think. support the widow. I hope we got that right in somebody's estimation.
We forgot to mention the hook for remembering the A part.
Oh, Maxwell House, right?
It's like the Maxwell House commercial. Yep,
that one and Martha Campbell both.
And
a little
Martha
bit,
Campbell,
right?
which we did last time, right?
I think we did pretty recently, anyway. Okay. Maxine says, I think it's that modal version that the Stuart brothers are associated with. Bruce Green played it in G-Dad tuning on the fiddle. Indeed. And the chording, I think, behind that version is really different from this bright, sunny business that Beth's got going on.
It's commercial version.
Yeah, maybe. I need to really learn that modal version and then be able to compare them side by side and see just how similar they are and how much it's the chords creating the different sound.
We had a question back up. The Stuart Brothers tune is called Henry King's Reel.
I missed that question. Mm-hmm. All right. It's time to bring this session to a close. We do have one more number, but we want to thank you all for tuning in, especially at this very busy time of year. I hope that a little bit of online jamming has given you some relief from the gift wrapping, the gift opening, the cooking, the cleaning, the entertaining, extended family, that sort of thing. Whatever you need relief from. I hope this has provided a little bit of it. We have tip jar links pinned to the top of the comment thread. If you're so inspired, they are there. We have a pretty busy period coming up, so I'm not sure quite when we'll do the next one of these, but you will see us again at some point. And in the meantime, do explore the Online Jam archive on my YouTube channel. It's, I think, my Clawhammerist channel.
Remember, it's the second thing that comes up. It's not the first.
Right, it's not Adam Her topic. That is CD tracks that I don't have any control over. And then the real channel with my picture on it, similar to what you see on Facebook, I think, is what you're looking for. And we'd love for you to peruse that archive and learn tunes that appeal to you and share them with your local playmates. So, we really enjoyed having an excuse to learn more waltzes. Right. We've gotten requests to include waltzes in our online jam programming. I noticed that Lori Woods was watching at one point. I hope you're playing along, Lori, with your guitar. I know she in particular likes waltzes. And we didn't have a lot of waltzes that were suitable in the key of G. So we've learned this one quite recently. It's the Peeler Creek Waltz. And I was reminded of it by my friend Amy Davis from Durham, North Carolina, and John Newland as well. I guess we all were playing it together. Right. But what struck me about Amy's association with this tune was she was playing guitar in the jam that we were in, and she was just doing all these interesting chord choices. She chorded it one way and then chorded it another way and then chorded it another way. And she said they're all good, and she's heard people do it all those ways, and it's like we can pick our favorite. So we picked our favorite. The B part is going to start in E minor, and at its midpoint, it's going to have that other chord that Beth alluded to earlier. It's a B minor.
So for guitar players, you find the way that I do it quickly, well, B7 is not quick, but you find the B7 position and lift this finger. And don't play the bass string.
Right, don't play the low E string. I think of it as just alternating across the second fret. We're not playing the bass string, and then it's closed, open, closed, open, closed.
So that's a B minor.
Yeah, B minor. If you know another way to make a B minor, feel free to use your way. But she's going to go to that B minor in the middle of the B part, and it's going to sound so pretty and be so exciting. And I hope that Amy will be pleased with the choices that we've made here. Peeler Creek Waltz, thanks again for joining us.
And Happy New
Happy
Year.
Almost New Year. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. pleasant, isn't it?
Thank you so much. See if there's anything we need to address
Okay.
before we go.
Okay. Lots of nice gratitude. We appreciate that so much.
We appreciate you guys.
Thanks, everybody. We will enjoy perusing the entire chat thread later on when we can see everything. Yeah. I feel like this device is showing us one set of stuff. This device is showing us more. Melinda, that is the Peeler Creek Waltz, Peeler, Peeler Creek Waltz. Glad you liked it.
And it's a reminder, I will update the spreadsheet I keep of all the jams, and if you want one, just drop a line to me or to Adam.
Yes, several people are saying that this might have lyrics, "Don't feed your babies onions," as sung by Walt Kogan, among others. Hilarious. Did not know that. I don't know if that goes with the pretty tune that it is.
I remember hearing that title.
Feed your babies onions. Yeah, I've heard that too, but didn't know what it attached to.
Right.
Maybe the Peeler Creek Waltz. Who knew? All right.
We hope you guys have Happy New Year.
Absolutely.
And safe.
Thanks for being with us tonight, and we'll see you hopefully later in the winter.
Hopefully I'll have a voice.
Yes, fingers crossed. Cheers.
Good night.
Bye.